The Cinematic Shuffle has shuffled once again. If you were around last week, you would have seen me give off my 3 hints for this film, which were a sequel, a team, and artificial intelligence. 3D Jakey got it right over on Twitter, while my brother Andy got it right on YouTube, both guessing Avengers Age of Ultron, which of course was right. Creative Cloudy Shorts guessed Sonic 2, while Mr. Sticky, you guessed Caddyshack 2, and I'm actually surprised that nobody tried to guess one of the Terminator films, because that would have made sense as well. But it is what it is. So I was initially reviewing all of the MCU films on my channel as part of the now, I guess, defunct Critics Initiative collabs program, but ever since that died out, I've been trying to get back to it. So the rest of the MCU films I never reviewed are now a part of the Cinematic Shuffle, starting with the second Avengers film, Age of Ultron. Let's get cracking. Tony Stark, thinking that he's saving the universe from another alien invasion in the nearby future, creates artificial intelligence called Ultron, using the Loki staff to power it. But Ultron has a messed up idea of what saving the world even means, and he actually believes the Avengers are causing more harm than help, and to save the world, he simply must end them and anybody that gets in his way. Before I go on my review, make sure that you head over to my Twitter handle at IAMDWG, which is where I post my 3 hints for the next Cinematic Shuffle review. I'll also try to post the same thing as a YouTube short sometime before the next Monday, so keep that in mind. But now on to my review of Avengers Age of Ultron. So I've always considered this film to be the weakest of the Avengers movies, but that's not to say that it's bad. There's something actually that's really special about it at the same time, because it's still simplistic. It hasn't yet dove into anything too complicated with too many characters to juggle. It's very much like the first Avengers movie, which is one of its biggest strengths, as well as one of its biggest flaws at the same exact time. It's a strength because it has the breathing room for really good character development and depth between literally every single character. I mean, looking back at all the different Avengers films, it's sometimes easy to forget how much good character depth there really was in this movie. But being like the first film is also a flaw because it really is too similar to the first, complete with Loki's scepter, mind control, and countless bogeys for the team to fight. Just structurally, a lot of it just kind of feels like it's the same movie. At the same time though, this movie is insanely vital to the rest of the series because 1, it introduces you to Wanda and Vision, 2 primary characters that show up countless times in the movies from this point forward, and the end of the movie, of course, takes place in Sokovia, which, huge event, affects the rest of the series as well, Sokovia Accords. And of course, we're also introduced to the new Avengers facility in this film at some point. Now, personally, I've always been a little bit iffy about the casting of James Spader as Ultron, since he really is a very silly actor. But it's his silliness that seems to work really well, balancing out his rough and terrifying villainous exterior as Ultron, and that's a theme that shows up a lot in this movie. Just like the original, there's a balance between the extremes of humor and seriousness, of slower moments and extreme action. Just the balance between focusing on all these different characters evenly. The list goes on, proving once again, one of the MCU's greatest strengths has always been balance and pacing. This is what, time and time again, has proven the MCU was the greater of the cinematic universes against DC. And obviously it's without the need to be said, but the film looks great 8 years later, and the visuals look pretty much spot on to me. The cinematography is great. It's a cinematic experience. Now, I've known people throughout my entire life that just can't stand superhero movies for whatever reason, and that's fine, you do you, or whatever you want to do. But you have to at least appreciate the visuals that go into movies like this. But overall, even though it's mostly agreed on that this is the weakest of the Avengers movies, that's not really to say it's bad. It's solid, it's entertaining, it's good. So let's go ahead and break down my final score for a second, which I rated Avengers Age of Ultron an A-letter grade, final overall score of 92%, 92 out of 100 possible stars. So as you can see, weakest doesn't always mean weak in general, or even bad. It's just a comparison word against a sea of movies that are already nearly perfect, at least in my eyes. The only thing that removes my ability to want to see it again, if anything, is just the moments in it that seem a little bit too much like the first, like I said. But on its own, it's solid, it's very good, and it's integral to the rest of the movies anyway, so you can't even skip it if you wanted to. Definitely though, it's an underrated gem in the MCU overall, but what do you guys think about it? Are you a fan of it? Are you not? I want to know, so let me know in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next installment for the Cinematic Shuffle. And until then, peace out!